Dirty Talks.
Alrighty. Welcome back, skaters and non-skaters alike. I'm Dirty Deborah Harry, and this is Miss Rollielocks. And
Hello.
Hey, and you've tuned into Dirty Talks. Now, for those of you who are new, again, I'm just going to reintroduce myself. Okay, I have a channel. It's a big roller skating channel. It's a tutorial-based channel called Dirty School of Skate, where Rolly here does all the filming and editing to make sure we get all these great videos out to you guys. But then we discovered along the way that apparently I like to talk about things that are somewhat roller skating, but life lessons. Am I right?
She is. And I feel motivated to be your spirited sidekick.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Ask,
love it.
listen, learn.
Yes.
Ask questions.
I love it. She helps me so much, not only with the filming and the editing, but literally the prompting, because when she's filming me, I'll start down some tangent. I mean, we're literally talking about like cross pulls or some sort of backward skating. And then I start going off on something about something when I was a kid or having to learn it and some lesson I learned and how that applies to life and blah, blah, blah. And I could see her behind the camera going, yes, yes.
All the good stuff starts coming out.
Yeah, now I just think I'm on a wild tangent because I haven't had enough protein or something. But when I see her eyes light up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, just go with the craziness.
Yeah.
Daddy. Just go with it. Right?
That's when I like roll in close, try to frame her up in a nice little close up. Sometimes you get choked up.
Yeah, every once in a while. Listen, I'm a bit of a crier sometimes. But it was funny because we were shooting stuff this week. And sometimes when we shoot videos, like we don't know what we're going to shoot, right? She'll show up at the rink
Most
or
of
wherever
the
we're
time.
at. And she's like, what are you going to teach? I said, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know, but I think, and then I'll skate around and I'll be like, oh, let's do that. And then we'll start doing that. And then she shoots a bunch of stuff, right? And then she makes teasers. Now, these teasers are to let people know that there's a video on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay, the teasers go out on Instagram. And just so you know, the numbers that I can get on an Instagram reel far outweigh what the actual tutorial will get. The teaser will go off.
Well,
Right? We've identified a trend.
There's a factor that seems to be bringing a lot of views. Can I tell them?
Insane. Yeah. I mean, like, we're talking if an Instagram reel gets like 57,000 views in the first, 20 hours. The YouTube video, which is packed full of, golden nuggets of roller skating knowledge on how to do something, will get like 6,000 views. Now, I'm not arguing. I'm happy I got one view, literally. Almost someone's out there watching.
I can tell you what you need to do.
What?
You need to shoot the whole thing with your backside.
Yeah. Apparently, you guys don't like my face. You don't like the front side. Apparently, if I shoot with my literal butt talking, that's ding, 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 ding. I just won in Vegas. And what makes me laugh about that the most is I spent the 80s, the entire decade, wearing clothing to hide that area. Literally, to hide it. And now I'm like, Mama needs to make some money. Let's shoot from behind.
Dirty. You have
It's
a
crazy.
golden badonkadonk.
Apparently. I mean, it's crazy.
Yep. You could.
But
set
I give
your-
it all up to roller skating. So if you roller skate for a long time, your butt will develop into something special. Now, I know that some of you are going to be like, let's get off this right now and go see what all the
Talk.
is about. And then you're going to look and you're going to be like, whatever, girl. You're ain't so fine. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't get it either.
Nah, baby's got
But-
back.
Excuse me. I just really want the people to watch the YouTube tutorial, though. But I thank you for making comments. Like, I don't care what you say. If you say something that is offensive to some people, it's probably not going to offend me. I am probably going to be like, at this age, I'm super happy to get your acknowledgement.
Even a raunchy compliment.
Well, yeah, hell yeah. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, my God, thank God.
I still
Thank
got
God.
something.
Still, you know what? It always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It always makes me laugh, but you know what's funny? Is one time, this is crazy. I know you're going to remember this. We did let's talk about comments real quick. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Do you remember when we made a video and it went out on Instagram? And the reason why we couldn't put it out on YouTube is because it had music. And obviously, YouTube frowns on that stuff. Like, you have to have all the licensing. We were at the rink. We put on some Christmas music, remember?
Yeah.
Sia?
Yeah.
And we put on this Christmas music, and I was like, I will interpret this emotionally in my skating, right?
That was one of my favorite shoots of all time.
And so we did this really cool, like, I worked it out. Like, I played around with the idea of I'm going to do a figure skating routine, remember?
You practiced for days.
I practiced.
Yeah,
I really
that
practiced.
wasn't a one-time.
Because
that was-
I had to do real legit figure skating jumps and spins. So we do it to the Sia song. What's the name of that song?
I can't remember. I'm the worst at that.
Okay.
Obviously.
Can I just say that if you are a fan of Christmas music, go out and buy Sia's Christmas album, and it is literally the best Christmas music ever. It's so good. So she's got this one song, and I just can't remember what the name of the song is, but anyway, really beautiful. So I go out and I do a literal, like, I want to say 2.5, 3 minute routine. And when you think 2.5, 3 minutes, like, oh, it's no big deal. Dude, it's hard for figure skating, jumps and spins. It's hard. Okay. And I'm moving. It's not like I'm skating super slow. So when we post it, in the description of the video, I wrote, doing in my 5th decade of life what I did in my 1st decade of life, because the jumps and spins that I were doing were similar to things that I was doing at 6, 7, 8, 9. Once I got older, I was much better. But at that point, I was doing these kinds of things. Single jumps, spins, different edging, cross pulls, all the kind of stuff, footwork. So I was doing, over 50. I'm over 50 at this point. I think this video went out when I was like 53. So all these people are so sweet. All these people are so nice to me. Like, they're like, this video made me cry. In the good way, though.
Yeah. No, yeah. For sure.
They're like, I wasn't just laughing at you dirty. Like, that was great. Beautiful comments. And then this one gal, this was so nuts, right? This is how impactful this comment was to me, because I remember it word for word. She wrote, NGL, not gonna lie. I was hesitant about watching your videos based on how you look. Thank you for sharing this with us. It was beautiful. And I was like, what?
What do you think that meant?
She said, not going to lie, I was hesitant about watching your videos based on how you look. Listen, I know what that means. I know what that means. So it was great because the people who loved the video were like, Operation Pile On. Oh, yeah. They just went after it. Like, they were going crazy about it. And I thought it was crazy because in the descriptions, I'm sorry, Adria, does no one read descriptions?
I don't think so.
Does no one read that I'm saying, like, these are things that I did in my first year of life, and now I'm over 50. Like, what I was doing was actually physically difficult for someone my age, right? So I chalked it up to what I always chalk it up to is, you know, when people maybe look at someone like me, they would think,
make a judgment call.
Yeah, they'd be like,
she done.
That girl she might be a little heavy for this. Might be a little heavy.
Oh, is that what you think of?
Oh, dude, she was like, this girl too fat, okay? I'm not going to lie about it. I know, because then I looked up her page, and she does them Spartan runs and, you know, getting in the mud and all that.
She was high fitness.
I get it.
Or he. Do you know it was?
It was, well, you know, it was a gal.
Human.
It was a gal. Yeah, she's into getting muddy while getting fit. And listen, I'm all for it. I ain't going to do it, but I'm all for it. Get your fitness however you wanted. But it was interesting to me because she was young. She was probably about 24. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, in her mind, she thinks that someone who's going to do something that is arguably highly athletic, like roller skating and doing figure skating, jumps and spins, that you have to look a certain way. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, well, she ain't wrong. When you look at figure skaters, right? Yeah. They have a particular body. But when they have a particular body, I'm saying, like, when you watch figure skating on TV, these gals are and these guys, they're slim and trim, and that's how you get up in the air and around. You know, it's harder. By the time I quit figure skating, you know, I got to be honest, I just couldn't get up and around anymore. Like, when your body changes, it's just
you're powerful, Dirty. Yeah, though you're powerful, and you know, I see you as healthy, fit. You know, so yeah, I think people have real high standards of perfectionism. I'm guilty of being caught up in perfectionism with my own self,
sure,
not with others. But
I think where I was going with it, though, was like the idea that you wouldn't want to watch someone's tutorial videos, a teacher's, based on how they look. Yeah. That to me was interesting because she said, not going to lie, I was hesitant to watch your videos based on how you look. And I thought, wow.
She was honest about it.
Dude, I mean, she was honest.
You know, in that sense,
yeah,
maybe she's reflective of other people thinking the same way, even though they're not going to say it.
Right.
So you've proven that idea wrong, and she even admitted it. So
right. So let's hear it from the legions of people that think that. It was just funny because it was a real eye opener. I was like, oh my God.
You hadn't.
Literally, are people thinking, because based on how I look, that my videos would not have merit or value? And then I thought, does she not know how old I am? Like, okay, that would be great if she didn't and she thought I was really young. That would be fun and interesting. Mm-hmm. But I just thought that was one of the most, out of every comment I've ever gotten, that was one of the most interesting.
Yeah, comments, you handle them so well. I have learned in the recent past that I no longer read comments. I will never read these comments. I promise you that.
Oh.
Because I'm too sensitive and I just take it in and like beat myself up. Yeah. But I like that you're realistic.
Yeah.
You're much more grounded that way. You teach me so much as far as what I should be putting time and energy into and what I shouldn't be. And hopefully I can learn and grow even at this age.
Of course.
One of the things I struggle with that I see you, and I'm guessing it's because you were raised to perform at such a young age. You have awards for performing in figure skating. So you are really comfortable with having moments where you show off. Yeah? And well, I'm using that term.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the right one. It's a performance. But I think our generation, we've never been, being Gen Xers, we didn't have social media. We didn't have, ways to show ourselves to the world. And when you suddenly are put in that, there's this thing where like, am I showing off? I like the balance between, am I being prideful and showing off, or am I performing?
Right.
And I wonder how that sits with you. Do you ever think, no, do you analyze that at all? Or do you just feel good at, tell me about showing off.
Okay. In regards to things showing off, like she's right. Gen X didn't show off. We were like doing it. And if someone happened to see us do it and they said we were doing it good, we were stoked. Like our parents didn't necessarily show up to stuff. No. So you weren't looking for your folks. Like, are they here watching
with
me?
the big camcorder and the
my
VHS
God,
tape?
Like, you got dumped off at places and you did stuff. But I was raised in a different environment than most kids because both of my parents were skating teachers, and particularly my mom was my coach. And I grew up in a skating family where everyone was champions. And let me just explain to you what a loser I was.
What?
Okay, no.
You sound like one of your commenters.
Dude, I was such a loser in figure skating. Okay, let's just get real. My family is like champions galore in figure skating, dance skating, speed skating. Like my mom is like a world champion. My dad was a national champion speed skater. Wow. My mom went to New Zealand and won the world championship pairs. My sister was like a national champion. All of my relatives, like everyone was a champion, right? Mm-hmm. And then there was me. Number one at losing. Now, here's the deal.
Stop.
No, it's so true, but it's so great. I had different priorities, okay? When it came to figure skating, it was a twofold situation. I'm telling you, it was total discrimination on the judge's part. I was discriminated against, and it was my fault too. Okay, here's the deal. First of all, when you go and you skate figure skating, you have judges that are literally being judgmental. Okay, now, let me explain straight off how they discriminated against me. Okay. I skate left-handed. When there's, 100 girls, 12-year-olds, just going out there skating their figure skating routine, and everyone is skating right-handed, and you get me, the bizarre left-handed skater, judges would be like, that is so ugly. Check. No, they were literally, they didn't even have those accents. What are we, ice skaters? No.
I kind of liked it. I think you should do the rest of the show in your accent.
No, they're like, what is she doing? I was an anomaly. I was like a bizarre, like.
Just because.
Listen, it's like you have a whole bunch of horses going by and then there's one zebra going the other direction. Oh. That was me. Okay. So I feel like they questioned everything I did because it went the wrong direction. So they didn't know what the hell I was doing. They would mistake a very difficult jump for a much easier jump because they literally had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of, it's sinking in now. So you're saying basically
that's how I was discriminated against. Okay.
Right. They couldn't process.
Oh, they didn't know what the heck they were looking at. So, but here's the deal. Can I just tell you how much I did not care about winning awards or being the best? Because my only goal was to be entertaining. So I would go out and do my figure skating routine and I would act like it's showtime, like when everyone else is super serious. Mm-hmm. I would go out there and like my mom would only have me skate to like really fast music because for the longest time I wouldn't skate to anything slow. And I would over dramatize the moves. And I would just go off with my left-handed skating and being a crazy person in this sport. Now, so generally, like let's say it was a regional tournament, the top 3 girls would go to nationals. And this was super important in my development in skating. This is really what like set the whole tone. Okay. You could not swim in the motel pool in Bakersfield, where we were at. Shout out to Bakersfield, until after your event was over. Now, in my mind, as a competitive figure skater, all I wanted to do was swim in motel pools. Okay, that was my goal. Okay, my summer, it's like July. I get to the Roadway Motel, and I'm like, where's the pool? So as all these kids are like fully practicing and getting, you know, ready for their big competition, I'm like, listen, all I need to do is pull a respectable like 10th place. Then I don't have to go to finals. And
throw it?
I could get into the pool earlier. No, for real.
Strategy.
So I would skate my event and I'd make semis and I'd be like, all right, my parents won't be too embarrassed. And then I'd go out there and showcase out there. Yeah, I'd come in like 10th. Dude, if I saw those listings, okay, so they put out, you know when they put out like who made what? And they have the listings of what place you're holding. And you would just hear the tears and the screaming and the crying. Some of it was good. Like girls would be like, I'm holding second. And they'd be all happy. And like other girls are crying because now they're in 17th place or freaking out, right? And I'd be like, oh, just missed the cutoffs for finals. And I'm like, Mom, take me back to the pool. And dude, I would get in that hotel room, put on my bathing suit so fast and jump in that pool. Okay, so here's the other part that's so bad. All the kids are crying that they didn't make it or they made it, right? I'm focused on the pool. Here was my other thing. I was a forward planner when it came to my summers off. I knew that if I didn't make nationals, my mom and my sister would go to nationals for 2 weeks. And for 2 weeks, my dad would take me to the beach. Like every day.
Dirty.
Or opposite, Dad would just dump me at the rink every single day for 2 weeks and I would skate session.
Your brilliance at a young age.
I knew.
Was fabulous.
I had priorities.
Yeah.
I didn't care about winning because in my own mind, I was already winning. I
Absolutely.
knew that I did not have to go to, and this is no slight, but I did not have to spend like 2 weeks getting to and fro and being in Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay? I live in Southern California. Okay, so I had two options for 2 weeks. Either Dad dumps me off at the rink at 11 a.m. and I skate till 11 p.m. going round and round, or we go to the beach.
Brilliant. Absolutely
yes.
Brilliant. You know, this is why you are who you are, is
because I'm a loser.
You figured out how to be a really beneficial loser.
Yeah.
You're like,
you don't
this is going to work in favor for me.
You don't want to be at the top of your game, people. You do not want to be at the top of your game, okay? You need to hit the middle, like cruise through. This is why I'm a big fan of lowered expectations.
I'm telling you, I think we all could have learned a lot from young Dirty back in the day. You figured your ish out really early.
And let me tell you
it takes us a lifetime to figure this stuff out.
Think about this. Let's set the setting. It's Bakersfield, California. If you know, you know. Okay, it's 1979, 78. And I'm sitting, like, let's see, 79. So I'm like 10 or 11 years old, right? Something around there. I'm not doing math, okay? And I'm sitting poolside, okay? And my parents are not there, okay? My parents are like, my dad's either working or at the auditorium, and my sister is performing, great feats, or my mother is coaching other people, right? I'm at the motel by myself, but not by myself, with other folks that are hanging out, mostly skaters. But this was the 70s, so you literally could just leave your kid at a roadside motel. And then also, okay, I don't know if this works anymore, but this worked really well for me. I figured out that you could eat at their cafe that they had, and all you had to do was give them your room number. So I would get up in the morning and, go to the cafe and, order myself breakfast. And then I would sit poolside and meet new people, totally have fun, then be like, I need a sundae. And then just go in there. And, the most important part of this is I didn't give them my room number. Oh. No, I gave them randoms. I would be like, we would be in like room,
and they wouldn't question
210.
it.
No, I'd walk in and they were like, hey, because, I'm a regular at the motel cafe now. And they're like, what room? And I'm all 17. Like, I had no idea. I was just charging food to people's rooms.
Oh my gosh, to be young dirty.
Right?
I'm telling you though, and I like your take on when you were on, it was just about entertaining people, which is actually, again, it takes it off of you and it makes it about the spectator because you care about entertaining them, regardless of whether or not it's perfect. It's more about, is it interesting? Is it funny? Is it spectacularly over?
We're going to post a picture of, I could take the time to find this picture for you because I want you to know that the discrepancy in like body types in skating was insane. And when I show you the picture of me, like my favorite skating picture, you're going to be like, oh my God, amazing, right? But at that moment in life, when you're not the norm, and the norm is very like ballet, like very thin, you think you're like, I am a massive house. And then, no, I'm sorry, but the picture's so good. Like, I look amazing. I obviously peaked at 12.
When you looked at that picture at that age, did you think you looked good or were you critical?
Okay, no, it was funny because I was two-sided with it. I was like, hey, I look good. I know I look good.
That's the dirty.
I also know that other people saw that as that wasn't the ideal. Mm-hmm. No, that was not the ideal.
How did you manage that? How did that sit with you?
Because not caring about winning and the judgment of others, like really not caring and finding your alternate universe within that universe. For me to be able to say, I don't care about the judging because I'm going to skate my weird, wacky way. I'm going to be super entertaining. I'm heavier than all these other girls, but watch out. This is going to be a good one. And I had the ability, this was due to really focusing on the fundamentals. I would never fall in these competitions. Like, I did not miss a jump. I did not fall. Okay. Because I would get out there and I thought of it as, this is a show. This isn't a competition. This is showtime. So when I got out doing that, I didn't care if I won. Did not care. Actually, didn't want to win. Wanted pool.
Obviously, we got that.
Right.
Swimming took priority.
It was like, look good. Just look good. Give them a show. And then you can get off the floor and go have fun.
So we could just totally wrap this up.
Yeah.
You learned at a young age not to care about judgment and comments. Obviously, that's something we've learned today. And you understood that entertaining people was the value in that moment.
That was mine.
And that was your assignment for yourself.
Yeah.
And it made you feel good. And you accomplished what you wanted to do. And you were happy about it.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you didn't give it about other people's opinion, which I love.
If I was totally having fun.
And you were 12.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even earlier. I mean, I knew it in figure skating. I knew that at 6 years old, this body isn't the type And I'm telling you, when you see these pictures, and we'll definitely post some, you're going to be like, how is that not the type? Like, but it's just an ingrained thing. And especially back then. Hopefully things have changed.
I think they have.
But I learned very early on, okay, so if I'm not going to look like this, then I'm going to skate like this. So it looks powerful and it looks entertaining, and I'm going to get off the floor and it's going to be totally respected, and then I'm not going to win, and then I get to do what I want.
Wow.
Which is motel pool, like sitting poolside at a cheap motel. Okay?
Well, I got to say, I think we gleaned a lot of dirty gems from that story. Right. Let's all be like dirty and just try to get out to the motel pool.
Right? Oh, we should do a thing about that. Like, yeah.
For getting to the pool.
Yeah, forget good hotels. Let's get roadside.
I think
it was fun. Oh, it was a blast.
I think you did amazing.
All right, you guys. Well, hopefully this is your takeaway from this won't be like, my God, such a loser.
I think that's what we need to title this episode. Dirty Talks.
Dirty Deborah Harry is such a loser. And then be like, keep your expectations low, people. This will be what really gets you through life. And identify the things that are your priorities and the things you really care about.
In the end, it pays off.
Right?
Right.
Shout out to the Roadway Inn in Bakersfield, California for sponsoring this episode of the Dirty Talks podcast. All right, you guys, we got to wrap it up because I'm sure you got things to do. And I can't tell you to go practice, but I want to. Because I want you to be good and feel good about your skating. You guys,
we could practice other things.
Thank you so much, Miss Rolly. I love you.
Love you too, Dirty.
All right, you guys, we'll see you next time.